I'm Matt Edison with Maverick Insights, and I have a story for you today. I have a very good friend who runs a manufacturing company in the southern part of New Hampshire. He's been in the business for about 10 years, and he makes machine parts to print. It's a machine shop, and his name's Billy. So Billy's got customers all over the New England area, and some that are just outside his area in New York State. And he's in a small industrial park in the southern part of New Hampshire. A couple other companies just like his that are doing business on the small side like him, 10 to maybe 50 to 100 people at the biggest. So Billy's doing a great job at what he does, and he's fanatical about taking care of his customers, as most of you probably are. I'm sure you are. Well, at any rate, so one day my good friend Billy gets a phone call from one of his customers over the Massachusetts border in New York State. And his customer's in a total panic. Whatever Billy supplied to him, it's not working. It doesn't fit, doesn't move. I don't know what the problem was. He didn't elaborate, but his customer said, Billy, look, you need to come right now and see what's going on. I can't quite describe it to you over the phone or even with a cell phone. I need you to come. You need to be here because my customer is actually coming in a couple of hours, and you have to be here to explain this thing because I can't take the whole rap because it's your part. Billy says, okay, calm down. I'll get there. I'll find a way to get there in a couple of hours. I'll be there. Now the problem is that where Billy was in New Hampshire, and where this fellow was in New York, it's probably about 4.5 to 5 hours away, and this was getting close to lunchtime. So Billy didn't have a whole lot of time left over to figure out how to get from where he was to where his customer was for this meeting with his customer's customer that was coming up. So what's Billy going to do? Now, you have to understand Billy. Great guy. He's a people person. He's also a risk taker. I mean, listen, most people that are in business, at least the small ones and the ones that grow, they're risk takers. They jump in where other people fear to tread, that statement. Well, at any rate, so Billy's a sociable kind of guy, and he knows a couple of other business owners in the industrial park where his shop is. So he tells me this, and it's just crazy. It's just nuts. But what happened is this. Billy knows a fellow that's about 2 businesses further in the industrial park. And it's a good-sized company. This guy, I think his name's Jim. We'll call him Jim. Jim is successful, very successful. He's got a house at the Cape. He's got a house on some island off the coast of Maine, a place in Florida. He travels. He and his wife go everywhere together. Jim's doing okay. Jim also is an adventure guy. Jim likes helicopters. The brand is called Hunter. It's like a smallish it's a couple $100,000 helicopter, but it's not a multi-million-dollar Bell helicopter or a Boeing thing. It's a kind of like a sport private helicopter, a Hunter. Anyway, so a couple of times Jim and Billy have gone out and had drinks together, dinners with the wives, that kind of thing. And this is the crazy part. There was a time, and maybe they had a couple drinks in them, I don't know, but Jim said to Billy, he says, listen. He said, Billy, if you ever find yourself in a pinch, you can borrow my helicopter. And of course, Billy kind of says, well, yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. Jim says, no. I keep the helicopter behind the shop. I keep the keys under the floor mat because no one's going to steal a helicopter. But if you ever get into a bind, look, your shop is full of CNC machines that make all these fancy parts. I mean, there's all kinds of knobs and buttons, and you program things. And a helicopter is a whole lot like a screw machine or a 5-axis milling machine. You can make it work. Billy's apparently under the influence at the time said, yeah, sure, okay. If I ever get into a bind, helicopter's out back. I got it, Jim. Thanks. Okay, let's go back to today. So here's the thing. Billy remembers Jimmy's statement from the dinner. And he goes, that's right. Jim's helicopter's out back of his shop. And he said, if I ever get into a bind, I should take the helicopter because, it's just like a machine tool. You program the thing, it does stuff, you pull levers, and it is good. How hard can it be? I mean, I've ridden in it with him once, so I know where like the key goes, and he's got a stick and a foot pedal. I can do this. Then he said, oh yeah. And then Jim said, listen, all you got to do is stay around 1,000 to 1,500 feet, okay? And just do like a beeline for where you want to go. Get like a compass heading or like do a Google Maps on your phone. You don't need to have all the fancy, just go there. Don't file a flight plan, just go. You'll be good to go. So Billy's remembering all this stuff that Jim told him about how to fly the helicopter and how to navigate the helicopter, how to get to where he needs to go. He's like, oh, I got a cell phone, and I was in there once before. You know what Billy does? He says to his shop foreman, I got to go to New York. I'm going. And I'm taking Jim's helicopter. His foreman goes, hey, you nuts? That's the dumbest idea. Billy goes, no. It's all good. It's a machine. It's like one of these things here in our shop. I'll just get in and I'll I'll figure it out. I figured this stuff out. I can program machines like I'm in my sleep. I got this. So Billy goes out behind Jim's shop and opens up the door to the helicopter. And sure enough, he picks up the floor mat and there's the keys. So Billy's like, cool. So Billy goes ahead and he puts the key in the ignition and he checks the throttle thing and and it's a gas engine thing, right? It's a Hunter, a small thing. Turns it on and, pulls this lever and does that. Next thing you know, he's got the thing spinning. He's getting ready to try to take this thing off. Nuts. He's never flown a helicopter before. Never had a lesson before. Now he's going to fly it from New Hampshire, clear across Massachusetts, into New York. Right? This is insane. And at any rate, this story is totally made up. One end or the other. But why? The point is this, is that for you and for me, in our careers, in business and in life, there are these times when situations call for, oh my God, what do I do here, right? And we think, there's no quick way to do this. I don't know who to call. I'll solve it myself. I will take this problem on and I'll do it myself. I will figure it out. And if the problem kind of looks like something else you've done before, you're really kind of inclined to do it. And if somebody else says, listen, it's no big deal. You can just go do it and figure it out and it'll work out. And maybe you've had some experience doing that where life kind of threw you one of these kind of curveballs and you said, okay, yeah, I can do this. And you knuckled down, you burned the midnight oil, you stayed up to all hours, right, for a couple nights in a row, maybe a weekend or two, and you figured that thing out. And because you figured that thing out, your business or your life or whatever got better. And so now you got a little bit of like what they call hubris, like you puff your chest out a little bit like, yeah, I got this. So there are times, right, in our business, in our lives when these problems, these challenges, these opportunities come across our laps. And in some cases, we might pull a Billy. We might think, yeah, I got this, and do something really colossally stupid, like try to fly a helicopter without any instruction from New Hampshire across Massachusetts over to New York and land the thing and then come back, maybe in the dark. No, you wouldn't do it, and I wouldn't do it. But the problem is, sometimes in our lives and in business, we do that. We think, yeah, I'll fly the helicopter. How hard can it be? And we waste time. We get wicked frustrated. Maybe our clients get ticked off at us. Maybe our spouses are looking at us like, what are you doing? Why are you trying this? This is dumb. Go get the phone book. Okay, no one uses a phone book. Go look on Google and find someone that does this. Or you know what? And you probably have a smart spouse, like I have a smart spouse. And she says to me, you probably already know someone who can help you with this problem. You just have to sort of think about it for a minute and then call them. And some of your friends and some of your contacts, they might even just help you for free, or at least give you some ideas about what to do. They won't leave you out hanging to dry. They'll help you. Everybody wants to help you. You want to help people, right? All the time. Well, why wouldn't that work in reverse? So here's my message for you today. And yeah, it took me a while to get there, but I like telling a good story, and you're a great audience. So here's the thing. Next time life throws you one of these curveballs, these big challenges, take a second and ask yourself, am I pulling a Billy here? Should I really be doing this a little bit differently? Like, is this the only option I have to do it myself, to figure it out, to knuckle down, to read the book, to go online and print the PDF off? Is there a better way? There probably is. And even if you come up with three options for how to do the thing, and one of them is to fly the helicopter, but you have two other options and you think about it and you go, you know what? Those aren't as good options as the one I had originally, the one where I do it myself. Then go do it. But at least you've considered other options, and maybe you've talked to somebody before you committed all this time, all this effort, all this frustration to something that could have been done with a phone call. So, there's your story for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Matt Edison with Maverick Insights, and we'll see you next time. Take care.